Hi Jokers, thanks for watching this episode of Jokers Physiotherapy. So, jaw clucking exercise. What's this all about? This is for audible clicks and popping. Clickings and popping sounds that you might have when you open your mouth wide or chewing or talking. I've had clients who come in, the elderly gentleman, and he was brought in by his wife. And according to his wife, his jaw's been clicking for 24 years. Can you imagine? So every time they dine at home, obviously most of the time they dine at home because the wife is embarrassed about husband's clicking when they're eating because it's so loud. So these are the exercises. I'm not saying this will cure it, but it will help improve and reduce the audible clicks and popping. So let's start. Now, these clicks and pops that are allowed are very, very hard to improve without proper treatment. And what's the click? It's from the disc moving out of the joint of the jaw or moving back in. You can see, like that sort of sound. Pops, clicks, you name it, people hear the sound. And not just you, but people around you. It's a big one. So can I introduce two exercises? One is clucking, where you get your tongue on the roof of your mouth and then, basically pull your tongue away as quickly as possible from the roof of your mouth, hard palate, to produce that sound. Tongue positioning. This is more to do with when you're not doing any sort of eating or talking, chewing at mealtime. And basically, this is the correct position of the tongue throughout the day when you're not using your mouth or jaw or tongue. So clucking, let's start. As we've started, clucking involves the tongue on the roof of your mouth and on the hard palate, and suck as if you're trying to suck the tongue back down, and that creates that sound. Now, ideally, you want to do this in a good posture, so you're combining with a good posture, head back. So I'm just representing with my hand the movement of the tongue. Now I've got my tongue on the roof of my mouth and then vacuuming it, so sucking it down. You might find if it's weak, the tongue is weak, you might just barely get the tips of the tongue on the roof of your mouth. Now, as your tongue gets stronger, you should be able to get the entire tongue front, as in the tip, middle, and almost to the back, which is hard to feel, but you feel the entirety, feels like the entirety of the whole surface of the upper surface of the tongue, sort of sucking up to the hard palate and then slam. You should be able to create quite a big sound through the tongue movement. See if that helped to reduce your clicking in the jaw joint. Obviously, the slower you do it, the better it is to start with, so you can ensure the tongue sucks it up to the hard palate and then slum it down. Notice as I repeat over and over again, repetitively, continuously, notice my tongue gets tired, so my sound becomes inconsistent. And what you want to do is, by repeating over and over again, tulip fatigues, which is you notice it by hearing it sort of more inconsistent sound and you missound it. And then you might just have a break. And you might come back and do it again in about 10 minutes time, half hour time, an hour's time, where it is possible. If you're working from home, it may be easier to do it more often. And if you're doing it very frequently, like every half hour or 15 minutes, you might only do 5 reps in each set, each session. But if you're doing it 3 times a day, you might really work it till it fatigues. So that's the clucking. See if that helps to improve the sound, as in louder clucking, instead of clicking the jaw on opening and chewing and talking, which uses the jaw joints. And see if you see the results. Because at the end of the day, tongue is also what we call a voluntary muscle. So it actually listens to your command. So if you're having a hard time making the tongue do what you want it to do, obviously it's like the muscles in your knee or the foot or your fingers, they should be able to do it as you command. But if it's not doing it, it means it's weaker or there is lack of connection between the brain and the tongue, which obviously affects how your jaw functions. Remember to combine it with a good posture, being upright, looking straight ahead when you're doing these practices. Okay, second exercise is purely putting the tongue in the position where you've placed when you were doing the clucking. But you keep it there most of the time when you're not talking, chewing, things like and yawning. Or yeah, even yawning, if it feels like it's going to click, you can put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. So that means when you have your tongue on the roof of your mouth, you need to have 4 things lined up. Tongue on the roof of your mouth, ideally tip, but as well as the middle and even a little bit of the back of the tongue on the roof of your mouth, on the hard palate. But you also want your teeth to be gently apart. Maybe butterfly bite, but you're not clenching and chewing down on your teeth, top and bottom teeth. Okay, butterfly bite or just very, very thin margin between the top and bottom teeth. They're not engaged. And then you want your lips closed, not tightly, but they're naturally closed, but your teeth are still apart. Remember, you need to keep your lips movement apart from your teeth movement. So teeth need to be away or apart slightly, but lips need to be together. Top and bottom lips need to be together. I have other videos training your lips and tongue. So if you like them, I'll link them in the description below. And please have a look at them. But yes, and then the 4th one is to then breathe through your nose. So to recap, tongue position should be on the roof of your mouth, and the tip of your tongue should be on the alveolar ridge, which is like a rough surface. Just as you roll your tip of the tongue off the front top teeth, there's going to be some rough surface here, the ridges. That's where the tip of the tongue should be, and the rest of the tongue should push up to the hard palate. Then teeth should be butterfly bite, not engaged, not clenching, but your lips are closed. And breathe through your nose throughout the day. Okay. Obviously, that's not it to get rid of your jaw clicks and pops, but that's for the other videos. Joint stretch, posture rehab, because at the end of the day, if the 50% of your jaw is made up of the skull, so if your posture is in the wrong position, jaw's already in a disadvantageous position by at least 50%. That's why and you can engage your teeth together, which can promote more clenching too. Others are obviously chewing habit. That may be because you may have teeth missing and you therefore favor chewing the other side, which may have become a habit, and you haven't replaced the extracted teeth for some reason. Or some medications can promote more clenching through the day and through the night. And obviously that's for another treatment program. Breathing pattern. If you become a mouth breather, that also means, as we talked about, tongue is on the floor of your mouth, not on the roof of your mouth where we want it, and that can cause dry mouth, and dry mouth can trigger more clenching. Also, some researchers have suggested that the reflux from the stomach, reflux of the acid, can promote more clenching, especially in the night, grinding, clenching. Okay, thanks for watching this episode of Jocker's Physiotherapy. And if you like these videos, please give us a thumbs up or please subscribe for future videos. Okay, happy rehab. Cheers.